Hi, I'm Lucas from 22M, and I'm going to be explaining our Worlds robot. Yeah, made it all the way to Dome, so it was like pretty okay, you know. All right, so first, yeah, that was a good noise. First we have our dry base, 450, 3.25. We did run 36 right there. This actually was a barrier cross wheel, except in Div Finals 2, it like high key fell off, which was not ideal, and jammed our drive base, and yeah, we just got cooked. Pretty simple drive base. This high strength axle broke and it started bending, so we just enforced it. And then, yeah, we just had one side to side tracking wheel, bent high strength axle aligner. Then our third cross race right here. Moving on to, we'll do our pre-roller. We just ran a pretty basic pivoting pre-roller. The motor was mounted on it, which a lot of teams were concerned about, except we never had any issues with it, so it did end up working fine. We had 900 on 2-inch wheels. Then we actually used rubber bands, so it's like the main thing to actually kind of bring them into our lever area right there. And that actually worked out pretty well. Our funneling was pretty good because we actually cut this one side just a little bit. So yeah, that helped with our funneling a lot. Yeah. Next, just kind of into our lever. So we had 7 block, and we did not have undergoal, except we were able to easily do mid-goal. And one cool thing about our mid-goal is, since it's actually kind of on a downslope, like these 3 blocks that would sit right there, once we open the hood, would kind of just like slowly fall into mid-goal. So this was pretty good for like getting 7 in skills, and just like, if we only needed to dump a few, we could just drop those in and then push with our hood, which also kind of worked as a mid-goal D-score. So yeah, we just had 7, and they would kind of funnel like 4 up and then 3 on the side. And yeah, low goal, or mid-goal, high goal. Pretty simple lever chamber. 2 50mm pistons, yep. And then let's go on to our hood. So yeah, our hood, unlike a lot of levers, was kind of mounted really far back, and it wasn't like folding down like that. It was more just like the blocks would sit right there, and it worked really well. Gave us more capacity for 7, except we did have a little bit of struggles with when this was up, a block would get stuck like right here, so we had to like shake a little bit to get 7 in low goal, but that was fine. And then, yeah, our hood worked really well for high goal pushing, and even better for mid goal pushing. And we actually have this distance sensor on our hood. The main thing we used it for was in auto. We could go up and pretty much just sense the entirety of the long goal, see if there were blocks, and if there was, we'd go for mid goal. But another thing we used it for is in auto. We could see if there were blocks there, and if they were, then we would up our lever power, and if there weren't, then we would run it slower, so all of our blocks would stay in. Yeah, this is our lever right here. It's pretty basic. It's just mounted right there. It's one red motor. Yeah, just right under there. 100 RPM. Yeah, our bracing wasn't that great, so we have just one extra brace right there. And this is also braced to our ring mount, which is mounted really like scuffly. Yeah, that's about it for bracing. We'll go on to our scraper. So we just used 75mm scraper, mounted off kind of like a custom machine 3 wide, which worked really well. It's super stable. Yeah, and then our scraper, high strength axle, pretty basic. One main thing that helped us is we actually have like the funneling right there to kind of funnel it. And then we also had these zip tie hard stops for when it was fully tilted. And that just allowed us to, like, we never went too far in on the scraper, and we could like full speed ram it and it would work perfectly, which was really nice for solo win point and just rushing 7 ball super fast. So that worked well. Next is, yeah, our super scuffed wing. So our wing is like mounted just in the middle of the bot. I actually really like driving it like this. I thought it was really it was nice because you could go forward or backward and be about the same. So yeah, starting off we had one brace there, and then we braced it all the way down there, going from there to our lever mount. Then it was primarily connected just right there. Ignore the loose screw, but and then yeah, just pretty basic. One high strength axle wing, and then the polycarb wing aligner worked out great. We did run 2 tanks on this robot, mainly because our wing was double action. I mean, it was a pretty light robot overall. We also had double action hood, so, and then this was only single action, but just to be safe. Just a few extra things. We had this guard right here because our battery came unplugged in a qual, and that was like the only qual we lost, so just want to be safe. Then we had these wall riders, but they got pretty beat up over the entire tournament. Pretty basic sleds. Yeah. Kind of just about our whole arc thing. This worked really well for the lever, I believe. Yeah, and then one more cool thing is just under there. We actually didn't have enough plastic, so we just used plated metal, which kind of acted as plastic to get it all the way up, and that worked great. Then just a little bit about our sensors. So yeah, we just have those 4 distance sensors on each side just to track the walls for kind of like our own implementation of MCL. And then down at the bottom, I don't know how many teams ran this because this was our first time building lever, but we just had a limit switch right here. So when the lever would go down, it would stop the lever from going down. I don't know how common that is, but that is what we ran. Yeah, and that's about it. Battery was mounted right there. Super secure, never had any problems after protecting the clip. Second tank, mounted under. Tank right there, did kind of slide off, but it's whatever. And yeah, that's our world's robot. Thank you.